Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another beautiful day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Woo, I need to keep those sunglasses on. Today we're gonna be firing up the wood-mizer LT40 and we're gonna finish the log that we started in yesterday's video. If you didn't get a chance to see that video, I'll post a link right up here, or you can continue watching. What we did is we started with a great big old red oak log, and that's what's left over here. It's called a cant. A cant is a squared off log. On the top of that cant is a cant hook for turning the log. So there's a little bit of education for you if you don't know. What my goal is here is to show you guys the beauty of taking a log from the woods and turning it into something beautiful with a little bit of education mixed in between. So come along today as we have a little bit of fun. I'll show you my setup. I'll show you my system here. It's not perfect. We've got to build a sawmill shed. We've got to build a building to store our lumber in. Right now we're air drying our lumber. Eventually we'll probably have a dry kiln. We'll have all sorts of fun stuff. So we got the tractor positioned. We got the ATV with everything we need. Chainsaws, leaf blowers, measuring tapes, all kinds of stuff, and we're gonna mill out the most beautiful red oak you've ever seen milled on YouTube.
I ain't afraid of work, I ain't afraid of play, I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life, times like this. If you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss. That's right.
Told you you're gonna get a little education. This big square log is from a huge red oak that fell down that would have otherwise totally gone to waste. It fell down during an ice storm. I called my neighbor. I said, man, you got some trees down over there. I'd love to have them. He said, come and get them. You're welcome to them. Just take whatever you want. So this is a big, beautiful red oak log that was once about that big around. This is the cant. It's a squared off piece of log. This is a cant hook. This is from my buddies at Logox. This is an awesome tool for turning your lumber and or timberjack. It's a 4-in-1 forestry multi-tool. Use it all the time. When we're running the mill, we're constantly having to turn the logs. Now this thing has an automatic log turner, and you'll see that at work here in just a little bit. Sometimes the automatic log turner is kind of a pain in the butt to use, so having it out of the way and just taking a simple cant hook like this and flipping the log over is the best way to do it. What we have is a 13.5-inch log by a 13.5. So it's a 13.5-inch cant, and we're gonna try and mill out 1x6s or 1x13s. You can see, this is the educational part. You can see a little piece of bark right here. So what I'm gonna do is set up the computer. I say computer, there's a tiny computer in the wood-mizer LT40, and I'm gonna set it up to cut 1-inch slices out of this. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna bring my blade right to the level of the log. I'm gonna set it to go down 1 inch, and that will compensate for the blade, and it'll cut me off 1-inch sections of this log. When we get done cutting this all down, we're gonna flip the whole stack and cut it into 6 inches, okay? So we'll shave off a little bit of the top because it's 13.5. We'll have some pieces of lumber for stacking, in other words, stickers to stack in between the boards as they dry. And then we'll put this stuff on there. And this stuff that's on the ground over here has bark on the edge, much like this guy right here. The stuff with bark on the edge like that will be edged. They make a machine called an edger, or you can do it with your mill. And today we're gonna do it with the mill. So without further ado, let's just get busy and have some fun milling out this beautiful log. I wanted to show you just how pretty this thing is with this new blade. And we'll spread a little water on there. That water ain't gonna hurt it. It's been out here in the rain. Hard to believe that this board's been out here in the rain, but look at this. Let's get you a good close-up. Look at the beautiful grain in that red oak. This could be used for many, many purposes. Siding, flooring, furniture, all sorts of stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous and nearly perfect. Got one little dark spot right here, but that just gives it a little character. Isn't that awesome? Other than this beautiful red oak, we have some white oak, we have some ash, we have a lot of lumber here to mill, and this is all hardwood lumber, and it'll all be cut to that same spec, that 1-inch thick lumber, 1 or 1 1/8 inch lumber. Awesome, beautiful. Let's fire up LT40, extra wide for cutting those great big logs. guys are gonna notice me working and offloading these boards in between. Typically I like to offload the boards so they don't pinch our blade, and the best way to do this is have a set of pallet forks and a little tractor right here beside us so I can just toss them off just like that. This is our little TYM T254. It's a 25-ish horsepower Yanmar diesel engine, TYM 254 tractor. Love it, love it, love it. The best thing to offload your lumber on when you're working by yourself is a set of pallet forks that's right here at this level. So very, very awesome. And the pallet forks are from Precision Manufacturing. They're all American made out of Missouri country. We visited their factory not too long ago. So I'll post a link down there for those. We'll show you how I do this because these are heavy, heavy, heavy boards, man. These probably weigh about I'd say about 100 pounds each, something like that. Use leverage, I'll show you. So we got this board and we want it to be on top of those boards. Well, we use leverage instead of picking it up, instead of lifting it all up. So all we have to do is slide the board because we don't want back pain. We've experienced back pain for sure. Right there, set it on the forks, take the fork, use it as a lever and load it up. Just that simple. Now we've got some beautiful grain that I want to show you on this piece of board. This is awesome. It's not exactly perfect as I thought it would be, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And you can see this board's got a few splits in it right here down by the end. It might have started to rotten out in the center of it. This was growing on top of a pile of rocks. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful grain. Man, there is no satisfaction like doing that. Man, that's so pretty. It could be on the back of a Martin guitar. That is absolutely gorgeous. You wouldn't think it'd be that pretty just looking at this log. We'll take this, again, using that leverage, toss it over here out of the way. We've got several more cuts to make, but we got some thought process to go on right here. Look at our dogs. These are the dogs that hold the board in place. I can go ahead and lower them all the way down. On the other side is a hydraulic cylinder, and that hydraulic cylinder is what holds the log up against, or the cant in this case, up against that. This is about a 9.5 foot cant lengthwise, so we've got plenty to trim off the end. Now, that other hydraulic piece is a foot right over here on this side. I have screwed up and I hit the dogs one time. That ruins a blade very, very quickly. So let's get busy, we'll do that, and then we'll put all these boards back on and roll them over. I really think I'd like to leave them this wide. I think it'd make a beautiful backdrop in our shop for our Tool Tuesday and tool review videos, and for shop stuff, and for the butcher shop, and for the music room. Man, I can't wait. And for our barn dominium. Houston, stop! We have a problem. I just happened to notice we've got a problem with the wood-mizer system. So we're not spraying directly on the blade. I'll give you a close-up of what's going on. It's a quick adjustment that I'm gonna have to make here. The wood-mizer is not working properly. It's not lubricating the blade, and that's why my blades are getting dull so quick. Always got to keep your eyes and ears peeled for anything. Even feel as this mill goes through here. You can feel when it's working hard and you need to slow down. There's so much to learn. I thought I could just jump in and start running a mill, and you just can't do it. Hope you guys are enjoying this education, and I hope it's getting you excited to buy your own mill. So we've got a really thin board right here that I wish we didn't have, but too bad, we've got it. Beautiful, beautiful board. We could always use that for something decorative also. We're gonna set it off to the side and pull our final board off. Our final board here is 1 inch thick. We have all of this lumber, and you can see how bright this is compared to how dark what we just milled. The difference is the dark, which is here, is green and is still wet. This is dry. It's been sitting here for a few days. These are 1 inch boards that need edging. In other words, the edges have bark on them. So we're gonna take them, put them back up on the mill and edge them off so that we have good, nice, pretty straight boards. Now, am I going to take these 13.5 inch or 13.75 inch wide boards and slice them down the middle? No, I'm not gonna do that. I think I'd be better suited to rip them with a saw later on down the road, but how often are you gonna be able to get a beautiful 13.75 inch red oak plank? Not very often. So we're gonna leave them like this and we'll cut them to size when we get ready to use them for board and batten and for projects. So let's edge these up. We're almost done. We got some thought process going on here also before we get done. This is a lot of weight on this little bitty tractor, okay? This is at least 800 pounds, well, 650 to 800 pounds, something like that. It's a lot of weight on this little tractor. It's about all this little tractor will handle, so I think we need to take this up and set it off. That way we can stack it later. We're gonna run some stickers off of this lumber that we've gotta trim the edges. We'll do 1 inch stickers, and those stickers will be in between. But I've got a big pile of stickers up here already. So we're gonna go ahead and lay these out, and we're gonna go up to the pile, and you'll see the lumber that's already been milled. And it looks great, and it's been sitting out there for about a month. This summer, my plan is to build a shed to stick this lumber to tuck it back in there. All this is for our use on the farm in the future. So fence boards, anything, chicken coops, any kind of project, hog pen, all that stuff. Right here, right off this mill, right off the farm. Isn't that great? Let's go offload some of these boards because, like I said, they're very, very heavy. Again, we're talking about ergonomics here. Get this thing to a good working height and work these boards off. You'll notice large gaps right here. These are 5/4 boards and these are 4/4 boards. In an ideal world, 5/4 is 1.25 inches, by the way. In an ideal world, I'd have a stack dedicated to 4/4 and a stack dedicated to 5/4. That's where the organization comes in. There's so much thought that goes into milling this lumber that you never knew about until you bought a mill. So we'll unload this, we'll tip it up, try to shake all the sawdust we can off these beautiful boards, do the same thing. Use that leverage, just like so. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to do it on your own. And again, I'll say these boards, they weigh every bit, about 70 pounds, I'd say. And this is air drying. You see how beautiful and white this is after sitting here for at least 2 months. We're flipping them hard, try to get all the sawdust off we can. Now we need another layer of stickers. Now I've got stickers stacked up over here. In an ideal, perfect world, these stickers would be every 16 inches. I'm going off the advice of a sawmill guy, a local sawmill guy. He puts them about this far apart. Said it doesn't make much difference. Man cave lumber. Let's go edge them boards up. Ugh. It's work. They don't call it farm work for nothing. Oh, there we go. You're gonna see the foot raise up. And I'm gonna go right over and tighten these boards against the dogs. And we're gonna trim off the edges. So fire up the mill again. So these are our edge boards, and these are the result of our edge boards. Plenty of stickers, and these are 1x1 stickers. And what we're aiming to do here is take off that edge. And what we're left with is, let's see what the width of these boards are. 9-inch boards. So these are heavy. But these are 9-inch boards that we have left over. Now these could be used again for any kind of project around the farm. And we can always rip them down narrower, but we can never make them wider. So who knows, that might be on the hog lot sometime soon. Guys, thanks a lot for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Please jump in, follow the channel, subscribe to us. Love to see you back here. Got a lot of projects going on, got a lot of stuff going on. This is a first generation farm here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. And this is what it takes to build it. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time. All right?
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Woo!
Hey there, top of your head chopped off, Josh. Oh, we're gonna show him. Hey there, folks. This camera's too far, too close. Let's back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Fat guy in a little flannel. Need a freaking airplane to fly over now. A lot of things. Hi, y'all. How you? Oh, stupid hat. This ATF, all-terrain fluid. We're gonna take our all-terrain, gonna be a little bit loud. Milling up logs. I'm milling up logs. She gonna be a pretty one. I can pee where I wanna pee. It's my prerogative. It's my prerogative. I can move that camera. The dogs seem to be happy about the day's activities. Woo!